Hello students, this is Mathman. Today we're discussing slope. What is slope? What are we going to use it for? How do we calculate it? Let's go to the board.
Now that we made it to the board, we're going to discuss the rate of change, which is something you've seen in a previous lesson, which is the way things change over time. Today we're discussing slope. Slope can be described as the rise over the run. The rise is your vertical axis. Up or down, that is your rise. And the run is horizontal, so it goes left and right. This is displayed as the change in y, or y2 minus y1, over the change in x, x2 minus x1. The slope is actually going to be the same thing as the rate of change. The difference here is we're looking at the slope of a line segment, or the distance between 2 points on a graph. So our x-coordinates, we have 1, 2, and 3. And our y-coordinates are 2, 4, and 6. So if we look at the points, we can actually plot out our points, where x is 1, y is 2, where x is 2, y is 4, where x is 3, y is 6. Now what this actually is this is the graph of a equation, which is y equals 2x. So to figure out the slope, let's go ahead and write the equation over here. And let's look at our x and y values. Our x value is 1, and that gave us a 2. And that makes sense because if we replace x with 1, 2 times 1 is 2. For the x value of 2, if we placed 2 in there for x, that would be 2 times 2, which is 4, and that's what our graph showed. For the x value of 3, 2 times 3 would be 6. So each of these number sets is called an ordered pair. Each of the ordered pairs we can use to find our slope. So here's how we do this. There is a formula to find the slope, and it looks like this. Slope equals y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Let's dive into this a little bit more. Now before we get too far, I want to find an easy way for you to remember this. If you look at the two x's underneath, and then we put the division symbol up there, it kind of looks like it might be like a picnic table, right? Then if we take the two y's and put them on top, it looks like there's some glasses on top of the table. Then we just put our subtraction symbols in there, and that's how we find our slope. Now let's explain how this works. First, we'll take our x and y values, which I'll redraw over here. We had 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6. Now, as I mentioned, these are going to be ordered pairs, so we could also write this as 1, 2. This could be 2, 4. And this would be 3, 6. Those are the points. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of those. Doesn't matter which 2. Just for sake of this video, I'm going to take this one and this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose this as our first, y1. This is the y value, is 2, so we're going to put 2 minus our second y value, which is 4, divided by the first x value was 1, minus the second x value is 2. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's going to be a negative, math man. Oh, I get it. But that's okay, because when it divides out, it'll make sense. Here we go. So if we go 2 minus 4, that gives us negative 2. And 1 minus 2 will give us negative 1. Now we can simplify this fraction because anything divided by 1 is the same number. And the division of two negatives Don't forget our song, same signs positive, different signs negative. So that is going to equal a positive 2. So the slope of the line that we drew and the data points would be 2. Now just to prove that you can use any of these values, let's do 2 different values. This time, I'm going to use this value and this value. So let's start with the first set. We'll make this the first set. So we'll say the y value, which is 6, minus the other y value, which is 4, over this x value, which is 3, minus this x value, which is 2. When we subtract them, we have 6 minus 4 equals 2. 3 minus 2 equals 1. So our slope again would be 2. So no matter which 2 points you choose, always have the same slope if it's a line. Now let's try another example. Let's start with a different XY table. Let's say this time that I'm going with 2, 1, 0, and negative. This is going to be 4. This is going to be 2. This is going to be 0. And this is going to be negative 2. So for this, we're going to use the same method. So we're going to take 2 sets of ordered pairs. Let's go ahead and take this one. And let's take this one. So what we're really doing here with all of this, we are taking the difference in the 2 y values divided by the difference in the 2 x values. So let's see how this looks one more time. So if I take the first ordered pair, my y value is 4, so that's going to go here. 4 minus the next y value, which is negative 2, divided by my first x value was 2 minus my second, which is negative 1. Now, if you remember how to do this, when you are subtracting a negative, that's the same thing as adding. So, if we simplify this term, 4 minus negative 2, that gives us 4 plus 2, which would be 6. Over here, we have 2 minus negative 1, which is really going to be 2 plus 1, which is 3. Now, if we simplify this further, 6 divided by 3 would give us a number of 2. So that means that the slope of this line, that's identified by these sets of ordered pairs, would be 2.
So students, now you know what slope is and how to find it. If this video was helpful, hit that like button below. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and leave your suggestions in the comments. Until next time, MathMan out.